Scramblers have been really popular for a long time because you can ride them on the street and off-road. But why would you get a Scrambler? Why wouldn't you get a dual sport like this WR250R that I had? Or maybe why should you get a supermoto? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the differences between all three of them and which one is probably best for you. Stay tuned.
Let's go for a ride. Subscribe today.
You want to get my gear like this ultra lightweight carbon fiber helmet, motovlog camera, airbag vest to help keep you safe. All of my gear, I always include links in the description and comment section of my video.
First off, you may be asking, what is a Scrambler? Well, a Scrambler was built for off-road and street use, and they're usually a vintage-style motorcycle that has been stripped down, has taller suspension, and usually spoked wheels and a high exhaust for better ground clearance. And the reason why you may want to get a Scrambler over a dual sport, supermoto, or even an adventure motorcycle is because the Scramblers tend to have a lower seat height. Like this new Honda SCL 500 has a seat height of 31.1 inches versus 36 plus inches for the WR250R and my YZ450FX Supermoto, and adventure motorcycles are usually 34 plus inches seat height. So this allows shorter riders to be able to enter the dual sport world, and yet they can use this bike as a lightweight adventure motorcycle, and they're pretty inexpensive. This new SCL 500 only costs about $6,800. The drawback with the Scramblers are they tend to be hefty. Like this SCL 500 weighs 418 pounds and most Scramblers weigh 400 plus pounds. So this is going to limit your off-road capabilities to just riding light dirt roads, etc. As where the dual sport and supermoto, you can take them off into the woods and have a good time and even ride them up staircases like I do.
You often hear me hooting and hollering about how awesome a supermoto is, and I used to hoot and holler about how awesome a dual sport is when I owned the WR250R. Having a good time on my WR250R. Here you go, baby Brian, some twisty action. You can go up staircases. I love that. Some stair action. Some slash. Yeah, like a boss, baby. This is crazy. But I'm gonna tell you, there is a reason why I feel like supermoto is just edging to #1 versus a dual sport. This thing is sick, man. I'm just gonna crank the throttle. That's it. Watch. See that? I didn't do any clutch up, guys. That's pure torque. Go over. Woo! Boom! Oh, right. It rips. But I'm going to give you supermoto versus dual sport in this video, and I speak from experience, and I'm going to help you on making the decision if you want to go one of those two routes. Look at that. Oh, that quick shift is beautiful. This thing just rips. The reason why I believe that most of you guys should get the supermoto. The supermoto, the #1 reason why a supermoto is better than a dual sport is because if you get a flat out here, a puncture, you can easily put a plug kit and repair it in less than 5 minutes and be on the road. You can't do that with a tube like the dual sport tires have. You know, that's the biggest drawback for me, because that happened to me once, and I'll leave you stranded because you're not going to be able to repair it, you know. But I tell you, with this 450, you can bust the wheelie. Thing just rips, but it wheelies itself, man. I'm telling you, this thing's awesome. But I tell you, with the supermoto, is that the tires and all can take a beating, man. Especially, I put ADV tires on here. So actually, this is a dual sport too. But what makes a dual sport better when you go off-road is that it has a 20-inch, 21-inch front tire that goes over logs a whole lot better than this does, man. And 17-inch wheels, and I learned the hard way and end up getting a broken collarbone because of that. So that's why you don't really see me messing around, you know, doing too hardcore stuff out here. And like I said, I learned the hard way with that, man. But I have the ADV tires on here that allows me that has, you know, like an adventure bike. It has the grip on there that you know, you can ride off-road. But if you got regular supermoto tires on here, you know, they're not that good, and they're not they're not tear resistant like the ADV tires are. That's a big problem, is that the regular supermoto tire, you know, regular street tires, they can easily get a puncture out here off-road, as where these ADV tires are like these tires are bulletproof, bro. The supermoto does it all. But what's cool about the 17-inch wheels is that you can fly around corners on it, man. You know what I'm saying? The 17-inch wheels, you can fly around corners. You don't have to worry about the grip losing traction and sliding out and end up doing a low side. So to me, it's many more benefits to be in a supermoto form. And also, these ADV tires are rated at a higher speed, so you take it on the highway, you don't have to worry about speed. Even though my bike only has a top speed of 105, and I tell you, I ripped this on the highway. This is the dual sport too, baby. So, but like I said, you got a great big log or something, you're gonna have a hard time getting that front wheel up over it, man, with a 17-inch wheel. That's the biggest downfall. But I could ride this up staircases. I mean, I could do everything with this setup here, and most of you will spend more time on the street. And for those of you that are spending a lot of time off-road, then I can understand the case for getting a dual sport if you spend probably 90% of your time off-road. And it also depends on what you're doing off-road. If you're just doing like I'm doing and riding these little easy trails, you know, in the woods or something, where you're not really going over much, you could do that on this, man. You don't need no dual sport setup. You don't need knobbies for that.
You can do an easy trail on a Scrambler too.
That's what I tell you guys, is that I love all the bikes. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guys. But if I just have to have one bike, it's the supermoto with the adventure tires on it, and you're set. I can ride out here and cruise just like I'm on a cruiser, and even sitting up higher. I got the catbird seat up here, riding out here on the streets. It's awesome. I love that, sitting up higher. And I don't have to worry about any punctures. I do a quick fix with the plug kit. You know, if I want to get cute, I can fly around a corner. You can take it even lower than sport bikes. It's bus wheelie on command. You know, what else could you want in a bike, man? You know, the only thing is I can't tour on this bike. But if you get like a KTM 690 SMCR, I bought this as my all-in-one bike. One of the many reasons why I bought this brand new 2024 KTM 690 SMCR Supermoto is for its versatility. You know, I can use it as a supermoto, dual sport, make this a lightweight adventure bike. I can tour on this bike. You can tour on that bike. They even have a big shields on there you can put on the front that'll help block wind. You could take that across the country if you want to, man.
And Honda makes an adventure pack for the new Honda SCL 500 that essentially turns the bike into an adventure motorcycle. So you can tour on this bike as well.
But if you're just doing mostly street out here like I'm doing and crapping around, and want to have fun riding up staircases and mess around off-road, do a little bit of everything, I'm telling you, take a dirt bike and do a supermoto build like I did. If you're allowed, here in Ohio, we can plate anything. I could do a two-stroke supermoto here. That's why I love Ohio. Supermoto versus dual sport. Supermoto all day. If you're gonna do a lot of off-roading and a lot of crazy stuff, I then get a dual sport. But you can always do like I did, and you can keep the dirt wheels that come with this, and you can swap up and just put the dirt wheels on here. And this bike actually is also a motocross bike. The YZ450 FX version, this is actually the same thing as the motocross F version, but it has a 5-speed wide ratio gearbox instead of a close ratio gearbox, and it has a kickstand and a few other minor changes on it. But this thing, if you go look on YouTube, this thing performs just as good as the motocross bikes. So you got a motocross bike in this, man. I got everything in this, guys. I paid $9,000. I put $1,000, and I bought it brand new, $1,000 build on it. So $10,000. I got all the bikes, motocross, cruiser, sport bike. I got everything all in this bike here, guys. And you know what? I don't have to worry about scratching the fairings and having to replace a $500 fairing or something. This, I can drop it on the ground. I don't care. I can get a new set of these cheap dirt bike plastics for like a whole set, probably for like $200 or less. And I'm not worrying about, I could drop it, beat up on it. I don't care. Sport bike, I care. A cruiser, I care. Supermoto and dual sports, I don't care. They're made to take a beating. I'm telling you guys, supermoto life all day. All day, every day, baby. Guys, leave a comment below. Let's talk about it. Tell me, guys, supermoto versus dual sport. What do you think is better? Leave a comment below. Just get out there and ride, man. Get on two wheels. I don't care what you ride. Just ride. Make sure to hit thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell symbol so you get notified when my videos are released. But I release new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And check out my other channel, Bug Out Moto, where I customize a van for my motorcycle so I can live in my van with my motorcycle and travel across the country anywhere. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bug Out Moto.